what's up, my Gormaganders? It's David and Scotty. Hi.
David and Scotty.
Hi, Scotty.
Back for a slightly late review of this episode.
Yeah, I was a little bit busy. This is the Federation Conversation, episode 17. And we're reviewing episode 2 of season 2 of Discovery.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit late because I'm just a busy boy.
David's a busy boy. I hate to break your hearts, guys, but the next one's going to be late as well because, well, potentially a little bit late because Scotty's got some stuff to do too. So for once, we're both busy. Can you believe it?
And, I'm not going to lie. Scotty, I'm going to be honest with you, all right?
Oh, fuck, here we
and,
go.
I'm not going to lie.
We're not a minute in and he's already getting all honest on me.
I'm going to tell you the real truth. That first episode really put me off.
I don't know. I think this
I had a few opportunities to watch this week's episode.
Yeah.
And I just kind of passed them by because I was like,
big mistake.
I could be doing other things with my life.
Big mistake, because this one was way better, I think.
Well,
not way better, but it did a much better job of approximating something called Star Trek, is how I see it.
Okay, well, now we know where you stand.
Have I gone down the garden path, have I? You don't know? Alright.
Now we know where Scotty stands.
Okay.
Let's see where David puts his allegiances.
Yeah.
I thought this episode was fucking great. I thought it's so far different to the first episode. I don't know how they do that. Oh, actually, no. I do know how they do that.
They did that.
Frakes.
It's Jonathan Frakes. They did do that in the first season, though. Like, the quality of the episodes would vary wildly. Like, you had a really great episode like the Groundhog Day one.
Yeah.
And then you'd all of a sudden have some shit about Michael Burnham being amazing. I mean, it's just...
It's just... Like, I know that Jonathan Frakes does he write the episode? I don't think he does. I didn't actually see who wrote the episode.
I don't know how much impact the director has on that kind of thing, but the feel as you're watching it is very different. Like, there's a certain kind of... I think he's gone for a very cool kind of directing, like J.J. Abrams with the quick... Except I think Frakes is just better at it, because a lot of the transitions and stuff. He was talking about that in interviews, how he enjoys the slick stuff. And I think Frakes...
Oh, like when they leave the ready room and it goes... Doof, and they're coming out the doors.
Yeah, Frakes has a good handle on that kind of thing. He can do it without it being shitty. You know what I mean?
That kind of thing, done well.
Yeah.
That's like the reason that Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors, just because basically that's just his style.
Yeah.
Just doing like that very punchy kind of editing, and there wasn't that much of it in this episode, but that one particular transition I thought was good. Anyway, the storyline of this episode is that they're chasing these beats. I mean, I know you watched it, Scotty, but for people who didn't watch it,
for people who can't remember which episode this was, they're like,
it was a few days ago. Yeah. They're chasing these beacons, and then another one appears, and it's 150 years away. It's 50,000 light years away. It's 150 years away by maximum warp. So they spore drive to it, and they find a bunch of citizens from World War III who had been picked up from World War III and placed on this new planet.
I'm saying ooh like it's the first time I heard about it. Ooh.
Yeah, does it sound good to you, Scott?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I might watch this again.
You excited?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's a very Star Trek kind of concept, first off.
Yeah.
Just, the going down, don't ruin their civilization with your technology kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, it kind of made me slightly interested in the story for this for this season. Which the first episode did not. I mean, like, there's a little bit of intrigue behind that, like, the Red Angel kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they kind of framed it in the first episode as if it was just like a supernatural thing.
Yeah.
Or like she was just, hallucinating it. I'm still not into the Spock angle of him just, being some sort of prophet or whatever.
He has form for going off on spiritual quests because of Vija. Like, Vija spoke to him and he was, So so there is a precedent for it, but I'm still not sold on it for this show. I'm going to have to see more before I... Precedent. I kind of like the angle of them being tested. Like, I can't remember who said what, but they implied that it was kind of like they were being set up to solve this mystery kind of thing. Because, I don't know, you probably never played it, but there was that Star Trek point-and-click game, Judgment Rights, where... Yep. Every mission wound up being various errands that the aliens had put you on to sort of test you. In the podcasting age, we refer to it as a listener test. This guy, you're just fucking with people, seeing what you can get them to do. But I kind of like that angle. I don't know if they're really going with that or not, but because I'm just not observant enough. No, I really did try to pay attention, and I really did like this episode a shitload more than last week's.
Saru said on the bridge, he was like, "We've been sent here to save these people. Like the beacon was to stop the shit from happening to them, like so the Discovery could save them."
Yeah.
And yeah, is that what you're talking about?
And there's also randomly, sorry if I change topics quickly because it's all coming back to me now after a few days of not thinking about it.
Coming back. Yep.
There was some Anson Mount versus Michael Burnham stuff where they were, Captain Pike. They were talking a little about, faith versus science kind of thing. I think maybe Contact did it better with Jodie Foster and Matthew Mahogany, but it's that kind of thing, the Carl Sagan stuff that I kind of like, because there's a way that Anson Mount is accepting of faith stuff without being a prick. He's very good at. I like Anson. David, I'm gonna get a shirt made up. I like Pike. I'm on board.
You should get it to say I like Anson Mount, because that's really
what I keep calling him. All right.
That is his name. You probably hate him like anything else he's ever been in.
Absolutely. I think that would probably hold true for a great many of these actors.
He was in that Legends of Tomorrow that you like the look of so much, right?
Legends of Tomorrow. Which one's? Oh no, the
DC TV show that
I liked the look of. You mean the video that you made me watch compilations of? Which, by the way, I could not figure out what they were compiling.
It's a compilation of the 10 best moments of that season.
I get that Don Draper's niece is kind of hot in that show, but everything else just went right over my head. And can you just explain to me how the hell they cucked the guy that played Superman so hard? He went from being Superman, the superhero in the movies, to being some C-list fucking loser on this.
Yeah, well, he was playing Superman in the Superman movie. I don't know if you realize this, but that movie was not very well received.
And it was.
I definitely don't think it was his fault.
And it was 2006 as well. He was one of the. No, man.
He wasn't he not a fine Superman? Like
I really hate saying things that I know I've said before, but since only a smaller number of people watch each one, I can kind of play the odds here and just assume that you haven't heard me say this, or at least don't remember. But he was a fine Clark Kent, but a shitty Superman.
Okay.
Because something about Superman, I mean, I know I'm living in the 70s here, but something about him's never translated into the modern movies for me. Just Christopher Reeve got it right, and I'm sorry, but these other guys just can't get it right. I mean, like I said, he was a good Clark Kent, because he was very good at being, hello, Kermit. Think of Clark Kent as
I don't remember that part of Superman.
Clark Kent's like Kermit the Frog. Anyway, sorry. Back to Star Trek.
Yeah, so he got cucked because he went from being Superman to being the Atom, which is basically DC's Ant-Man.
Oh. Are you serious?
But way worse. No, wait, is he Ant-Man or Iron Man?
I don't remember. I don't think he was the Ant-Man guy, because that was a different clip, and I was like, what the fuck is just Ant-Man? How can they get away with that?
I think he was.
Do you think DC and Marvel is the same as Canon and Nikon? They're just the same company making two different brands to fuck with us?
Are they two different brands?
They are.
Are they the same company?
You need to buy like an adapter if you want to use a Nikon lens on your Canon. Do they make them? I don't know.
What does that prove?
I don't know. It's a theory.
It seems like it would prove the opposite. It's they're different companies.
Well, it's a theory I have that they're all just selling the same shit to fuck with us. I don't know. Hasn't been proven yet.
Okay, maybe. Anyway,
so great episode. Let's
look. It's a great episode. It's a very Star Trek-y episode, and it's. I feel like somebody could criticize us for saying things are very Star Trek-y, which means they're good, and then also saying that the Orville is bad, but the Orville isn't doing it right. So
it's. I'm really getting the red ass with people saying that Orville is Star Trek-y. It's just not. I've never gotten the feeling that I was watching TNG while watching that garbage. Sorry.
No. I've got a few notes.
I had some notes too, but
the thing about an episode that's really good.
Yeah.
Is that we have less to talk about because it's done well, and it's like, well, I can't complain about it.
That's what I don't like.
We're such negative people.
That's what I hate about me. Is like, we used to dub the movies. Remember, we watched something shit. Oh, we had so much to say. Whereas you play something like Full Throttle, which is just fucking beautiful. And what a
beautiful narrative.
The funniest thing in our Full Throttle playthrough was you going at Ben's face.
Well, Yeah, I'm a master comedian. One thing I don't like.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
So what year is it? It's 2250 or something? Roundabout?
Yeah, it's the 50s.
It's 2250. All right.
Yeah.
When you mention World War III to people, you don't have to say it was a cataclysmic nuclear event. Because I think everyone knows what World War III is.
Well, yeah, it's become a euphemism without even ever happening. We just assume it means, oh shit, things got serious.
Well, I mean, even without the euphemism, even if it's part of history, I don't have to say, when I'm talking to you, Scotty, I don't have to say, oh, World War II. That big, terrible event that happened in the 1940s where Hitler decided to invade all the countries around him. You know, it's...
Well...
You don't need that much context because you know, because it's history. Or like if I say, for something like slightly better in terms of time frame, like the Civil War or something, you know what the Civil War is.
I guess. But you'd be surprised. Some people can be very ignorant. Maybe Starfleet's just full of hippie dippies that don't care about that.
No, she explained too much.
Look, I don't remember the line, but I'm sure you're right about it.
She said World War III, a cataclysmic nuclear event in the 200 years ago or something. You know, some bullshit like that.
She's not pulling that thing where every Vulcan speaks in, like, encyclopedia entries, are they? Oh, Zephyr Cochrane. The man that invented warp drive and mysteriously disappeared 20 years later. Like,
did he mysteriously disappear?
It's not a Vulcan thing, it's an exposition thing. But smart
characters... I know, yeah, it's an exposition thing.
Smart characters usually get saddled with it even.
I hate exposition.
Yeah, I've got a note. It's called "Stop Calling Him Your Brother." I hate that shit. Unless she's going to do the brother from another mother thing, it's not right. It's not appropriate. She's adopted. Oh yeah, and when Spock was doing his little podcast at the beginning, he's doing his monologue while they're looking at the signals and stuff. He says, "I have encoded it in this audio file."
Did you say audio?
He totally does. And is it an audio file or an adios file, Spock?
Well, maybe that's how they pronounce it on Vulcan.
It could be, I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't want more Sarek. Every time they play a Sarek sort of flashback for the previously on Star Trek Discovery part, he's always
scared.
He's got that psycho collar that they seem to think Vulcans need now. It became a Vulcan thing, I think, with the movies. I don't know why. But they have this creep bloody collar that...
and then everyone in Enterprise wore it as well.
Only the very worst pedophile would be caught wearing one of these things, but for some reason now it's the Vulcan national dress code. I don't get it.
Why do they all have to have the same haircut?
I have no idea. Well, okay, the haircut...
but it's a whole planet full of people. To have a different haircut.
Don't you think it's funny that there's a planet called Romulus and they're named after Romans? It's one of those early Star Trek things where it was probably a bit on the nose, but then they couldn't change it because it became part of the bedrock of the whole world, like world building. Like,
it's they call themselves Romulans. I mean, it's just a coincidence, I think.
Yeah, their home planets are called Romulus and Remus, the two babies that founded the Roman society. I mean,
I think it's a translation issue. I don't think it's uncreative. I think it's just translation. We're like, that we can't pronounce it in our tongue, so we have to make up.
We just call them Romulans, and the universal translator, whenever they say their name, just goes Romulans. That's who.
Yeah, because humans say Romulan. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You like that explanation?
I did like that Stamets injected himself with tardigrade DNA, because recently in the news there was this guy who injected himself with his own cum to try and solve some medical problem.
Did it work?
No, I think he had to go to the hospital. Turns out cum therapy, it's like, well, it depends. I mean, there are people in the world that just inject it naturally into each other.
But inject it right to his ass? Or?
I think he put it in his back as kind of like a cortisol treatment. What an idiot. Yeah. What a moron. And also, I can't get over the fact that communications guy is called Bryce. Every time they turn around and say, Bryce, get me Starfleet, I just...
Alright, Bryce.
Alright.
Yeah.
Bryce.
Some people just call Bryce. Just be glad he's not the gayest guy on the fucking bridge.
Yeah, that honor goes to Stamets. I kind of liked how he had PTSD about going in the chamber, but did it anyway. And then afterwards he's like, don't talk to me.
I think what happened there.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Sorry, just yeah my notes because I'm picking which ones to ignore, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing you a
No, I
favor.
mean, I like that you brought that up because I think what's going to happen is later on, he's going to talk to Tilly and she's going to be like, why were you being such a jerk? Or why are you so different now? And he'll be like, well, I went back into the Spore network and I thought I'd see, what's his face? But he wasn't there. So maybe he doesn't exist. And maybe, yeah, and then he'll just be fine with it.
Oh man, just you talking about Tilly and that reminded me that there's a whole new plot element. Ghosts exist in Star Trek now.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up as well.
That freaky bitch with the big fucking forehead and the annoying accent turned out to be a ghost. Well, a spore ghost. We don't know.
We don't know exactly why she's a ghost, but yeah, like, and they didn't really give you much after that revelation.
Yeah,
It's kind of just like, oh, Tilly's been talking to a dead person this entire time. And I kind of suspected something was up. I was like,
yeah.
Something weird about this. She has a lisp or something. Like, she has a speech impediment. And I was like, they would have, nipped that in the bud.
I got retroactively scared of that character after it emerged that she was dead because, first of all that looking in the camera scares the hell out of me with ghost characters. Second, I thought, geez, wouldn't a starship be a scary place to be with a ghost because you can't get away? It's just you and the ship. And a ghost.
You can't get away from ghosts anyway. They can just follow you.
Well, no, you run for a while.
They just follow you. What's going to stop them?
I don't know.
You're going to get ghost tired?
No, they run out of energy because... you ever notice how ghosts always have arbitrary rules? Hey, I have to solve unfinished business before I can go to heaven. Oh, I can walk through some walls, but not... Come on.
I'm stuck in this house.
What a racket. What an absolute fiddle. I can't... man, don't make me a ghost. I'm not signing up for these bullshit...
Maybe she's the ghost of the 12th deck or something, maybe she's stuck on the deck.
It's an old Starfleet legend. She used to be the slut of B Quadrant. About the ghost character.
What are you talking about?
About this ghost character, somebody connected it to a random shot in the first season where a spore lands on Tilly's shoulder or something. I don't remember it, but I saw this in a write-up.
Yeah, no, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
That's such a strenuous link, though.
It's extremely...
Like half the people aren't going to remember that. And then even if you do remember that, it's like...
Oh, they definitely pull it out of their asses, I think. But
I think what happened there was they were going to make that a thing in that season, and then they did all that rejigging. And, they had to fuck around with that season a whole bunch, so...
I've got a complaint to make. This isn't a Star Trek thing, it's just TV production quality. Okay, you're over the planet. New Eden. Satellite image. Enhanced. And it goes from a satellite image to drone footage of the church. Now, I really think... I almost want to get rid of my drone because drone footage now has become what GoPro footage was in Sons of Anarchy. You're watching a professionally shot TV show. Everything's normal. All of a sudden, you're watching a camera that you could have bought 2 years ago doing something.
Yeah.
It pulls you right out. It reduces that production value. And drone footage really is getting to be like that now. In everywhere.
Yeah, you're starting to see it in like movies and stuff, and it's like that. It looks like a drone.
I use a drone to get the shots that you guys would use a helicopter to get. You don't use my drone to make movies and feed them back to me like I'm some sort of asshole. Like the drone is the everyman's way to get those shots. See, I don't know.
I mean, it is a lot cheaper to put a drone up than put a helicopter up.
But I think the rules should be different for rich people. Like Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and he shouldn't be awarded for it. They should just pretend he doesn't have it.
Absolutely. I mean, at least revenue disabled or something to remove the incentive. He should be putting up videos because he wants to, because he's proud of his show. He's like, hey guys, look what I did the other night.
Yeah, make it like Jack Black. He just got a channel where he just puts videos up.
Like Jimmy Kimmel can have a channel, but he doesn't get to put clips up from his show, otherwise he gets copyrighted.
By NBC, yeah.
Fucking Jimmy Fallon.
What?
No, I'm just getting them all mixed up. They're all alcoholics. I have to say, I do...
Yeah, you're talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and you're like, Jimmy Fallon.
Same guy. I do like Conan. I kind of be won over by him again, because I used to love his Walker, Texas Ranger gags, and when I was away, I watched a bunch of his traveling videos and his Jordan Slansky stuff, and that's pretty funny. So,
sure.
Just that's a bit of an insight into me. Tilly was mining that gravity asteroid on the landing bay, and she did the No Man's Sky thing where her laser overheated. Classic video game mining. Don't mine for too long, or your laser will get fired up.
I maybe she's a ghost from the asteroid or something. Maybe her bones are stuck in the asteroid.
No, I just think it's a spore thing because they're trying to connect it to, I reckon, Dr. Stamets. What's his name? No, Dr. Colbert being a ghost for Stamets. Now Tilly,
Colbert, yeah.
Now Tilly knows a ghost. It's all a lot more plausible. It's something for them to bond over.
Sure, yeah. I was gonna say the bit with the asteroid and stuff kind of confused me a little bit because I think we were distracted when we were watching the first episode.
Yeah.
Because we had a whole bunch of talking up right behind us.
Yeah, as happens on Fridays.
I completely forgot why they got the asteroid and like the point of it was.
Yeah.
But they probably did explain it properly. I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's like a dark matter heavy asteroid or some shit. And
like, she's going to use the dark matter to make the spore drive work. I don't get the connection, but I'm sure she does. She's a scientist.
I like this show because it doesn't lay it on all too thick, the information. Like, for instance, when the asteroid pitches her against the I don't know what, the wall or whatever, she got hit, and she falls over and blood's coming out of her ear. That's interesting because usually that's recognized as a sign of a serious injury, to be bleeding from the ear. You know, it's like, whoa. Sorry.
And?
No, I just find it funny that she was bleeding out of the ear.
Yeah, well, it was a serious injury for people nowadays, but in the future, it's just you'll be right. You know.
These are really great headphones. I just want to throw in as well, I feel bad for the helmsman, who I finally wrote down her name so I'd remember it. Lieutenant Owashiko. They give her the line where she's... Yeah, Owo. Of the Weekend, that's her name. She grew up in a Luddite collective. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Give her the fucking dunce upbringing. What a deadbeat.
The first thing I thought when the away party went together was like, why are you sending all the black people? Like, these people... You're sending them down to this primitive civilization. They're going to get lynched.
You're sending them down to the Amish people. Fuck knows what they've been through.
Couldn't think of 3 white guys to send down or something.
Oh my god. I'm not just doing this to be...
yeah, they're from World War III, so they're probably pretty tolerant. Yeah.
That's the thing. No, they might not be.
And there's a whole bunch of black people. Like, they looked and they saw the black people down there already, so...
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't think about that. But you think about this. You should really be careful going down to a culture founded on one idea, because, like, in the old Star Trek, they go down somewhere, it's Romans, or it's Mafia.
Yeah.
And the way these aliens always seem to, or humans, for that matter, seem to seize on an idea and build a society around it, you send them down to the wrong Amish people, and you're right, those black people are in for a bad time. I mean, obviously not these ones, but...
They're going to get churned in one of those big butter churns.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. I wanted to mention the guy that thought they were from the space and like wanted to prove it.
Yeah.
He reminded me a whole lot of the guy that plays Worf's brother. Just the way he talks.
Yeah. He sounded like him.
I had to look it up. and see if he was related. He's not related, I don't think.
I know it wasn't him from the face, but he sounded totally the same.
But he talks the same. Yeah, he didn't talk like that. But you know what I mean.
I have to say, I do kind of like these characters. I don't know how many of them have been in Discovery or if it's just a Star Trek thing. Whenever they meet someone who's a cut above the rest of their dumb fucking race, and they're elevated.
The one person that knows, that believes that there's starships.
Saru was one in his short trek, and this guy in this episode, I kind of like. It's almost like a Spore thing where you go to the planet. I mean, Spore the video game, where you go somewhere to civilize them and elevate them from the dregs that they are.
Yeah, and you bring what's her name, Lucy, up to the ship, and she looks out the window. Her name's not Lucy. What's her name in First Contact?
That's a good question. It was played by Alfred Woodard, and
that doesn't help.
Oh shit!
It's not Lucy. It's something like Lucy.
Zephram Cochrane's girlfriend, Lily.
Pretty close.
Bam! I still got it.
Yeah. Actually, no, it's completely different.
There's a bit I hate. And I've got screenshots to back this up. Maybe I can put them in the video in post because I can't be bothered dragging them in. I hate, since maybe the 90s sometime, the Star Trek idea of blending in away mission garb. I'm sorry, your fucking cheap ass outdoor store. Oh, what is it? North Face? What are they buying? These shitty trench coats. You look like fucking idiots. They were doing it last season with Michelle Yeoh. I'm sorry, get a new look.
Just dress like the people actually dress.
Yeah, or maybe they were all dressed like that when New Eden, in which case I would have torpedoed the fucking place from orbit. I wouldn't, forget it.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's just what they wear. They
It's
gotta
not.
blend in.
It's not cool. They all look so odd. I mean, even Anson Mount's kind of guilty of this with his trench coat. Wearing a trench. Like, all right, I'm being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Skip next point.
Yeah. See, again, this is the thing about episodes that we like. We just go through these little individual points and go, ha, yeah, and then go to the next one. But
But there is stuff I liked. I liked the Bible that had been cut together from all the different texts. It looked like
like the concept of this episode was really cool.
It was like it was like a Bible, but it was also a ransom note cut together by a psycho because it had been sort of pasted together
and somebody there in that church learned how to do stained glass and replace the stained glass window with the angel.
Yeah.
Somebody in the last 200 years,
It was all neat. I did feel sorry for them. Talking down to religious people today is a bit of a drag, and I'm just wondering how bad is it going to be in like 250 years, like to try and like. But then again, Ansel Mount found a way to be nice about it, which is something I really respect. Like I said, Carl Sagan, man, what a big dog. He could be that smart.
He was being very nice. Like this
But
episode
still
makes
nice.
me like Pike a lot more as well.
Yeah.
It's nice to just have a captain who's a nice guy. Like, I liked what's his face from the first season.
Yeah.
Until they ruined his character.
Yeah.
Having just a nice, normal captain.
Yeah.
It's just a nice. It's refreshing. I don't know how they're going to ruin it, but they will. But,
it's Discovery. Give them time. I mean,
he jumps on the phaser to save that kid.
Yeah, he gets wounded, and even in traction, the guy's dashing. That's what I like about him. He's in sick bay. He's like
dragged around by other people. Yeah.
I gotta say,
what I thought was going to happen at the end when he presents himself as Starfleet to the guy, and gives him the fucking battery. Which, I mean, I guess they're far enough away from Earth that it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like they're so far away from Earth that I guess it doesn't really matter if they fuck it up. But I thought it was going to be like a twist, and he gave him the battery, and then the guy plugs it in, and then all the lights go on, and then the fucking church explodes and kills them all.
Actually, you know what I thought the twist was going to
be?
That
was my immediate thought when the lights started going up.
I thought the twist was going to be he picks up the battery and says, it's so good. It looks just like the real thing. Everything's blue now. Everything's got blue lights in it. All the tech. I hate that bitch. Fucking Burnham. They stole our tech. Oh, come on. Just say it. Technology.
They stole the tech from our packs.
Yeah. They took our communicators. I don't know. Just, can you not? The T word? Can we drop it? It's time.
They stole our shit.
I did like when they were going to do the maneuver with the asteroid. Initiating donut maneuver. In other words, that thing that Tilly does every fucking day.
I was going to complain about the fact that the ship didn't really do a donut.
No, it didn't.
It just looked like it was just kind of banking.
I was expecting more.
I'm sure she's done that 100 times. What's her name?
What's she called?
No. The redhead. With the thing on her head.
I know the one. Yeah, I know one.
Anyway, sorry.
Lily.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it was just a banking maneuver. But then I realized, like, if this was old Star Trek, we wouldn't have gotten anything. We're doing the donut maneuver.
You would have had the same shot of the ship from the beginning of the episode. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, so it was good. It was fine.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. The robot, I've realised, has an annoying quirk, and that is that she sounds like she's in a fast food drive-through. That's where she should be working. Whenever she says anything, she's like a mega. It's like, turn it down a bit. Everyone else is just talking. You've got, yes, Captain.
Please drive through to the next window. Yeah, no, I understand that. At some point, she'll get personality. You know what I mean? There's a fucking robot on the bridge. They haven't even talked to her like 3 times.
Your burger is ready.
Last year and a half. They don't say that in the drive-thru, Scotty.
Oh, your burger is ready? Yeah, they do.
They don't say that in the drive-thru.
What drive-thru have you been going to?
All of them. No, Scotty.
Oh god, no! You're gonna bail me up on this.
They only talk to you over the loudspeaker when you're making the order. Like when you're saying yes, I would like to have this and this and that.
Oh
and
yeah.
Then they go, okay, it'll be that. Go to the next window.
Yeah. Because when they get to the collection window, there's no speakers. It's just the person there expecting to get fire in the hole.
Yeah, fucking. They come up with a shield nowadays. They got like riot shields made out of those cup holders, just like an array of cardboard cup holders, and they come up and they don't want to get ice creamed.
Oh man, I love fire in the hole videos. Aren't they good? Aren't they so funny?
I think they're terrible.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because you've never worked in fast food, so you wouldn't know how annoying that would be to clean up. Neither right.
No, you're right. I feel bad now. I probably shouldn't be laughing, but fire in the hole.
I made you feel bad.
You made me feel something. I don't know how I feel about the resolution where he barters with Worf's brother to get that. I mean, revealing yourself as an alien, beaming up, doing all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It's one of those things where, like, in that situation, would you rather know that there are humans and Earth was saved, and they're flying around in spaceships, and then have to stay there? Or would you just rather not know?
Like in Star Trek 4, Captain Kirk, basically the cetacean specialist has him figured out. He is from the future, and she jumps on him when he beams up, and then they're stuck with her, and she gets to go to the 23rd century. I mean, this guy is going to be stuck on planet Amish, just fucking kicking rocks and picking his nose. He knows this.
Yeah, what the fuck? They just took her to the 23rd century.
Yeah, they did. Well, she had nothing to live
luxury?
for. She had nothing to live for in the 80s.
What? You can't just... Yeah, neither did this guy. You can't just take something.
Well, that's what I mean. The guy's...
have nothing to live for? Fine, we'll take you.
Yeah, he's stuck
we'll take you to the future.
He's stuck on New Eden now, just like he knows there's a Federation out there, but what's he going to do?
And nobody else is going to believe him because he's stuck in this stupid religious... Also... Oh, wait, okay, never mind, sorry.
I was
going to say, why the hell did they beam down there? Why did they beam down to one of the other 11 settlements that are on the... to people who are less religious, but then I realised the signal's actually coming from there. So I suppose there wasn't much choice.
Yeah, but, why didn't he just beam up the fucking ODST helmet? Just beam the thing up. Steal it, Pike. Come on, you've already broken the rules once.
I just feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Because now he's stuck there with all these religious people who won't believe him.
Yeah.
Because they saw them get beamed up out of the church. She was like, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
He's never going to get through to him now because they literally saw a miracle.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it wasn't that much of a solution because, I don't know.
No.
It seems a little soft.
Oh, they get power at least.
Pike, he has a heart, but should he be that soft? I don't know. But I really do like the episode. I'm not just trying to be nicer since I was so mean about the rest of Discovery.
No, of course. No, we have no qualms of being as mean as we've been so far. I'll continue to be mean if the episode sucked, but this episode was pretty good. And I kind of wish that I didn't see that it was from Jonathan Frakes in the opening credits, because maybe I feel like that might be skewing my opinion a little bit. I'm like, oh, Jonathan Frakes, this will be a great episode. But it was a good episode.
I guess this shows me to be a bit of a simpleton. I understood it because it just resembles as a concept Star Trek, so I was able to enjoy it because it was something vaguely familiar to me. But I wouldn't blame Frakes for that.
I don't know. It's like whenever they try and do the... Because in terms of like the big overarching story of the season, this episode didn't really change anything. But I mean, it did. It revealed some of the plot. I mean, I don't know. It's just like in the episodes where they have to set up, or like when they have to do basically the homework to advance the story, they don't do it very well. But in this one, it was kind of inconsequential what happened overall, and it was good. Yeah.
I was talking how much I liked the concept of a character that realizes there's more going on out there and he's better than the rest of his little alien friends. And I was saying I liked that character, but I also called him a grifter. Shit.
Rude.
I had to do the next week on Discovery segment didn't look so good. Looks like it's going to be back to normal. Just more Burnham service.
I didn't see it, so.
Oh, okay. I don't remember what it
lucky
was.
me, I guess.
I
get to live it in the moment. Yep.
If this show could get by without too much more Sarek, I think he was in it. I'd be happy. And I mean, obviously they've committed to the Spock thing, but I mean, again, if we can just throttle back a little bit on the. Oh, by the way, he's my brother, and I'm related to the most important person in Star Trek, even though I'm only an exchange student. If they could just fucking lay off that a bit, I'd be so much happier. And just get down to some good old-fashioned Star Trek with Pike. I mean, he's great. I like him.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. And these one-off episodes that, like, again, this advances the story, but it didn't. It wasn't all that important to the story. Like, they could have. I don't know. I wanted to say it's like a standalone Star Trek episode, but it wasn't really. Yeah. Like, it was actually just a part of the story that was well done.
Yeah.
And I think it's the Frakes factor. I think it's 2 takes Frakes.
It could be him.
He makes you do 2 takes because he gives you the perfect direction after the first take.
I really think he would be fun to work with, wouldn't he? Think about that.
Yeah, imagine
working with Frakes.
That was the only reason they talked about donuts in this episode, because it's Jonathan Frakes.
Oh, yeah. Saru had the line, "These slender shoulders." I really wish I had his BMI. I was looking at how fucking skinny the guy is. Holy shit. I remember that. God, that was good.
Oh. There was one part that I laughed really hard at.
I've never been fatter. I actually stepped on some scales the other day. It's a new lap record. Yeah.
I'm almost.
Yeah.
Almost the same. I was going to say, there was one part that actually made me laugh, which is weird for this show. It's when Tilly was talking to... Was it Tilly?
Yeah.
Was talking to Saru. And then he goes, "I learned 90 Earth languages." And she's like, "Fluently?" And then he just goes... like he just makes a face. It's like...
Oh, man,
you don't have to go back and watch it to get it, but
yeah. No, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. He's just so good acting through the makeup.
It's like he was offended at her even like suggesting that he did it fluent, or that he wouldn't be able to do it fluently.
Yeah. Oh man,
very funny interaction. Anyway, I can't wait to hate next week's episode.
It's coming.
In 2 days.
It is coming. It is coming. Oh man, I can't think of too much more to talk about.
No, it's good. It's
Well, I think we pretty much.
Else to talk about,
I think we've covered it all. I did put a note down. Damn, Tilly has got more to love. Look at her in that jumpsuit while she's working on the asteroid. That is true. She was definitely back in some. No, I'm done now. That's no. In summation,
yeah, it sounds like done.
Great little ep, and
good episode.
If there could be more like that, I'd be enjoying this show a hell of a lot more.
Probably in the top 3 of all of the episodes so far.
Make no mistake, at the end of season 2, when we've hit the big bad move and we realise how shitty a show this is, and that the people in charge are just throwing darts with a blindfold, this will be one of the episodes where we go, "Oh, but that one was so good." So
yeah, I mean, it's the same way that we view the one with Mud, the time episode, and the one where they introduced... Hang on, now I'm getting confused. The one that Frakes directed wasn't the one where they actually go down to the planet and meet Vok, was it? Well, Mirror Vok. That was the next episode.
It's hard to remember. I only like that episode because of everyone's favourite shot. Even in death!
You were just out of yourself! Even in death! Anyway, it's top 5 then. I don't know. There were 2 good episodes with Vok in them in the second half of the last season. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, by no means does this redeem Discovery completely, but definitely the right track. Well done, Frakes, and everyone involved.
Yep. Anyway, so that's it for this video. I think it's slightly shorter, but I don't know.
It could be. We'll catch you guys next time. A little bit behind again, but hopefully not too much.
Probably on the weekend, yeah.
But that's for us to figure out. So, yeah.
All right, play us out, Scotty. Play them. Yeah, play it with your mouth, yeah, because we can't actually play it live, yeah.
I'm putting it in the post.